Tyson at 58, though,
No,
right?
no, he was much slower. But George was always kind of slow. He just has thunderous power. He was never like a real fast guy like Ali or any of those other guys. He was just, when they were in that ring.
I don't.
Jake Paul trolled Mike Tyson after his recent health scare on a plane, promising to deal with him. This was enough to annoy many boxing professionals, especially Joe Rogan, who violently attacked him.
It can happen.
Jake Paul's favored.
He's a favorite, yeah. Well, he's 27 years old, and he's a really good boxer. He's a very good boxer.
Jake Paul made a mockery of Mike Tyson's most recent health issue, and Joe Rogan isn't having a bit of his antics. While it wasn't the best news for the fans of the baddest man on the planet, it was the kind of news naysayers like Oscar de la Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, and Dana White were waiting for to further push their agenda against the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul on July 20th, while many of these boxing professionals have shunned the idea of such a ridiculous matchup that will see a 58-year-old man lock horns in the ring against a fighter who is 31 years younger. Their motive isn't in any way hateful. Many of Mike Tyson's naysayers are actually those who have so much love and respect for him and are only scared of how devastating the consequences could be for the former undisputed world heavyweight champion. And with the latest news, it's expected that many more boxing professionals will share their opinions to prevent Iron Mike Tyson from fighting. Tyson returns to the ring on July 20th when he faces Paul in a pro fight that is scheduled to take place at A&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
You never know. It can happen.
Jake Paul's favored.
He's a favorite, yeah. Well, he's 27 years old, and he's a really good boxer. He's a very...
It will be the 57-year-old's first appearance in a bout since 2005, when he lost to Ireland's Kevin McBride, who now lives a very different life. Ahead of meeting Paul in a pro contest, the boxing legend had an almighty scare on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles on Sunday, according to his representatives. Tyson became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare and received medical attention. Screenshot. But he is now doing great for his team. Thankfully, Mr. Tyson is doing great. The boxer's representative said he became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare up 30 minutes before landing. He is appreciative of the medical staff that were there to help him. A source said Mike had some kind of medical emergency on the plane, and paramedics boarded. Before the paramedics arrived, the flight issued an announcement asking for a doctor. The message even came on everyone's screen in Touch Weekly.
He's a favorite, yeah. Well, he's 27 years old, and he's a really good boxer. He's a very good boxer. Like, he's a legitimate professional boxer. He fought Tommy Fury, who's also a legitimate professional boxer, a real good one.
His representatives, however, clarified that the delay was down to an air conditioning issue and not Tyson's medical incident. Before the plane landed in Los Angeles, passengers heard an announcement asking for medical professionals. Per the report, the reported medical scare stopped passengers leaving the plane for 25 minutes. He was in first class, but we were in an exit row, and the stewardess was very chatty. They asked us to stay on the plane and landed so paramedics could enter. A source revealed she said something like, "He's a really important passenger, so we want to make sure he's okay." I knew it was him, but I just mouthed the words Mike Tyson, and she nodded her head yes. A few days removed from the medical incident, the 57-year-old claims to be feeling 100% and sent a warning to his upcoming opponent. On X, he wrote, "Now I'm feeling 100%, even though I don't need to be to beat." Jake Paul, the former world heavyweight champion, hasn't fought in a pro fight since June 2005, when he suffered the final defeat of his career. However, he returned to action back in November 2020 as he took on fellow great Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout under the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. The returning boxing icon will have to pass a series of pre-fight tests. If he fails and is forced to pull out, then most valuable promotions have a former world champion on standby, while a boxing superstar has also thrown his name into the hat to face Paul, but fight fans have expressed their concerns for the boxing legend after footage of him on a treadmill has resurfaced amid his medical incidents. Footage shows Tyson struggling on a treadmill, although it is not a normal machine. People on social media made their feelings clear about his pro fight against Paul as they slammed the YouTuber turned boxer for facing the 57-year-old. One ex-user wrote, "He is an old man, and I hope he doesn't get hurt against Roy Jones. They were both old, but he's about to fight a young, strong man. Even if it is an exhibition, the punches still hit." Second pleaded, "Oh my goodness, please cancel the fight." A third added, "Please stop this fight. I don't want to see it anymore." Jake Paul should be ashamed of being named a fifth. He argued that these aren't normal treadmills. "I look just like Mike. My first time on one of these. They are very different and difficult. If you don't train, you wouldn't know." While he's been off the ring for almost 2 decades, he faced fellow great Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout back in November 2020. The former world heavyweight champion looks to be in great shape, having documented his training camp, showing off his legendary power and hand speed. But fans are worried for when he returns to the ring. Jake Paul, who will welcome the boxing icon back to the ring this summer, initially issued an update on the status of their upcoming pro bout on X. He had initially written "You love to make stuff up" before knowing the facts for clicks. Likes nothing changed. However, on second thought, Jake Paul chose to be his usual problematic self and decided to troll Mike Tyson for his airplane incident. He posted in a now deleted tweet claiming Mike Tyson wasn't even fit to sit in a plane, talk more of standing in the ring with the problem child. A man who can't sit in the plane wants to stand in the ring with the problem child. Hell in a cell. After admitting on several occasions how scared he was of Iron Mike Tyson, Jake Paul seemed to have gained some confidence in himself after seeing Mike Tyson's mounting health challenges. It's however been confirmed that Mike Tyson would have to undergo and pass some necessary tests before he could be deemed fit for the fight. Joe Rogan doesn't seem to fancy any of Jake Paul's mind games, and he has now spoken on behalf of Iron Mike Tyson, claimed a bedridden Mike Tyson would kill Jake Paul on his anonymous podcast. The famous commentator said, "I saw Jake Paul, and I felt like that was dumb. We don't always talk about the fact that he only fought a good boxer once and lost. He seems to be finding it funny and prideful that he only fights against boxers who are past their prime. I guess someone needs to tell him." Mike Tyson completed boxing before his older brother was born. That's how big Mike Tyson is. He continued, "I feel it's quite stupid to mock someone with a health issue. Everyone could have that health issue. It's not related to his age. I'm sure he'd bounce back and finish off this last. And even if he isn't at his best, like he said, he doesn't need to be at his best to beat Jake Paul. I feel bedridden." Mike Tyson would kill him too. Shockingly, it turned out Joe Rogan wasn't showing any form of leniency with Jake Paul after initially lauding his boxing abilities. Rogan had earlier questioned why people often underestimate Jake Paul and instead advised them to forget him as a YouTuber and perceive him like they would perceive regular boxers. No, I mean, people can take something away from them because they're YouTube people. I always tell people to just forget that Jake Paul is a YouTube guy and watch him box. Yeah, the kid can fight 100%. Rogan went ahead to highlight moments from Paul's fight against Tommy Fury as evidence of Paul's boxing ability, and that Tommy Fury fight really showed that, I mean, it goes to a split decision against a alleged undefeated boxer. While he had a big question to ask Jake Paul as to why he chose to fight the monstrous Tyson. He spoke about Tyson's unbelievable magnificence in the boxing ring and believed he was still as potent. He approached the 31-year difference between the pair like it was nothing and boasted about Tyson's training intensity like a trainer would do to his training. Know why I don't care if he's 55, that's still my Mike Tyson. Mike's in good shape. Mike trains every day. He trains with Rafael Cordo, who's a legend in MMA. He runs King's Mixed Martial Arts. Rogan had nothing but prayers for Mike Tyson, as well as his trainer, Rafael Cordo, whom he referred to as an MMA legend and renowned trainer. Rafael is a world-renowned trainer. When you see him holding the MS for Tyson and Tyson smashing the mitts like Jesus, that guy can still knock you out. Mike Tyson must have made this decision seeing as many boxers had brain issues before their deaths, and at such an age, it is wiser to reduce the amount of risk he takes. Muhammad Ali died of an ailment related to the brain that was said to have been showing symptoms before his retirement for much of his career in boxing. Muhammad Ali was convinced that his brain wouldn't be affected by the thousands of powerful, crippling blows he received from his opponents. Ali's style was quite different and strange. Often he'd be seen motivating his opponent to throw more punches at him, believing they would eventually get tired from doing so. And then after their tiredness, he'd come striking. Jonathan Agg, who wrote a biography of the boxing legends, said he kept saying it wasn't going to happen to him, that he wasn't going to get brain damage. In fact, he encouraged his sparring partners to hit him in the head. He believed he could build up resistance to shots to the head, kind of like calluses, with an all-encompassing focus on his private and public lifestyle. He chronicled the life of the three-time heavyweight champion, whom he said Ali made people really rethink what it meant to be an athlete. He changed the country and the world. There had never been an African-American athlete who spoke up the way he did and demanded to be treated as more than an entertainer. However, it was Ali's struggle with neurological damage, painstakingly detailed by Egg, that remains very applicable in relation to Mike Tyson today. And that's all for now. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Until next time.